So this is the fun part, guys. Like we talked like I'm gonna be behind my computer here. This is time for me to kind of do my screen share, and what I'm gonna do here is actually start the process of sourcing products, right? Like how many of you guys have heard me say that sourcing is the single most income producing activity in this business, right? Right? A million times, right? The message hasn't changed. And the message still hasn't changed. Sourcing is the one thing that will make you the money in this business. You have to get good at this process. So because we're shifting gears right now, guys, in your workbook, guys, I just want to let you know that you do have like a grading model, okay? It's a guide, all right? So as we start sourcing products, we're going to be referencing the way that we grade products, right? We came up with a system to be able to give us, we came up with a system that we're able to reference that I'm able to give over to my entire team of people, right? My people that are in the Philippines that are sourcing for us, and my team internally. And we're going to kind of go through today the process that we use, but first, let's start here again to revisit, again, just to kind of get a point across, guys. We have the two distribution models, right? What are they? And warehousing or FBA, right? Like drop shipping, your supplier warehouses the product, and they ship it out for you. Now, the difference between drop shipping and the other model is on drop shipping, all the work's done on the back end, okay? Processing the order is done on the back end. Getting the shipping confirmation is done on the back end. Dealing with customer service is done on the back end, right? Everything, all the work is actually done on the back end after a product sells. Now, with FBA, the product's not fulfilled by you. It's actually fulfilled by Amazon, but all the work is done on the front end, okay? After a product sells, the nice thing is you could be at that football game and you have nothing to do with the sale of that product. Kind of nice. It's really nice. You know, all of your cost is incurred on the front end as opposed to all of your cost being incurred on the back end. Make sense, guys? All right. So what's the difference, right? The cost of labor, right? It's your responsibility, okay? Handling the returns, handling the messages, that's all your responsibility, right? That's, I would say, the number one reason why people fail in the dropshipping business is because they can't handle that efficiently. They lose track of stuff. They don't have processes. They don't have systems in place to be able to keep track of all the returns. They don't have systems in place to be able to keep track of making sure that customers get communicated with effectively, right? Like what made our business so successful in the beginning for a lot of people was I taught people how to outsource, right? I taught people how to build teams around them to handle that. Before your VAs, how many of you guys have ever managed anybody? Wow, a lot of people. Holy cow. More than I was expecting. You know I really hadn't up until I learned how to outsource. That was really my first experience managing people. And the way that I was able to get good at it was I worked for this company, and my boss, he made me like really put these detailed plans together on how I was going to actually execute. Like I said, boss, I need your money. I can get some labor from Upwork really cheap. It was called Odesk at the time. Ended up hiring these 8 Egyptians, and those people would go around the internet kind of doing what we do, but they like with sourcing products. But the name of the game in that business was we created businesses that weren't necessarily real businesses in order to generate leads. So if someone was searching for a tax attorney, what's some of the stuff that people might search in? Well, looking for a tax attorney that handles wage garnishments. So the name of the company was Tax Attorneys That Handle Wage Garnishments, right? And we had a whole bunch of those search phrases. So we'd have one person assigned to each individual company name, right? And then they would distribute those listings to all the major online Yellow Page directories, right? You have Yelp, you have Yellow Pages. So that was like my first real experience. And the thing is, I got to use other people's money in the beginning, right? You guys don't have that luxury when you're your own business owner of using other people's money. I got good at it because I was forced to really think through what I wanted someone to do, right? And I did it at a level to where it's like they don't understand English, so I have to put things in a manner that they could just follow like a step-by-step process, right? That's why I really struggle, like when people struggle in this business. Like we have people in the Philippines, guys, that don't understand English that can find products. Don't tell me you can't. That's the truth, you know? Like it's funny, but it's also like it's like you got to understand, like it's just putting the work in. But nonetheless, now with drop shipping, your margins are definitely going to be lower. Why do you think that is? Buying at retail price, competition, no skin in the game, right? It's easy. Like you're going to, like anybody, like you don't have any worries, right? We've been teaching it for 3 years now, right? Doesn't matter whether it sells or not. So, you know, generally you're going to have a race to the bottom because there's no skin in the game for people. If it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Now, with FBA, the cost of labor, they're absorbed on the front end, okay? The sourcing of the products, the packaging of the products, and we're going to go through our process. You know, we're in step number 2 right now, right? So we've gone through step number 1, which is finding the supplier. Step number 2 is going to be sourcing the actual products, right? And for those of you who have teams built around you, you could really take off fast. Bam, find hundreds of products in a single day. How cool would that be, right? It's possible, guys. I'll show you. You're going to make higher ROIs because you have less people that are willing to take money and part with it. People are scared because they think that their money's a depleting thing that they'll never get back, right? People that didn't come here that are in our group that are struggling that would have been well served coming here because they think of their money as this thing that they'll never get back. Like, I hope that you guys walk away today with one nugget, just one nugget, that you're able to parlay into a multi-million-dollar business. I really do, guys. It takes a much smaller team to operate, too. I mean, we can vouch for it. We got a very small operation in terms of people. We don't have a lot of people. But it's running, and it's running, and it's running, and we got a really good system in place to handle everything. So here's what you need at this stage. This is a little small, but what you're going to need in order to be able to source the products at scale, that's what this is all about, guys. Like, less effort to get to the profit, right? Like, the quicker that we can get to the profit, the more profit we make, right? The more our time is worth, right? If we can weed out all the crap and we can only work with the good stuff, that's a good thing, right? So in order for us to get there, I just want to recognize our amazing development team that's here. We have Nava and we have Ken. You guys just stand up because you guys are responsible. Like, guys, these people are the ones that are going to help you make millions of dollars in sales. If you guys truly understand the power of the sourcing wizard that we've created, you can source at scale, and I'm going to show you what I mean. Some of you might have seen me demo it before. Maybe some of you haven't. So we're going to go through the process, and we're going to just, it's a very simple process, right? But in order to be able to do this, your supplier's got to provide you with a spreadsheet of their products, and you only really need 3 pieces of information, okay? You need the UPC code of the product, you need the cost of the product from your supplier, and you need to know what their identifier is, okay? Or their SKU, okay? Every supplier has their own way of giving SKUs to their products, okay? So does anybody not know what a SKU is at this point? Hopefully everybody does. All right. Good. Now, optional information that you could load into the system, which is going to be good long-term, okay? I want you guys to think long-term when it comes to this. I want you to think your ability to distribute these products worldwide, I want you to think long-term, your ability to distribute these products on multiple marketplaces. We can't do it at this point, but we've got the framework in place to do it, all right? So the product title, that's helpful, right? If you wanted to just create a listing en masse on all these different marketplaces, these are the things that you're going to need in order to do it. Product description, the image URL, inventory count, shipping dimensions, pack quantity. Do you guys know what that means? Anybody know what pack quantity means? All right. That one might. So like every and I think I talk about this in a little bit as well, but like repetition never hurts, right? So like every supplier packages things up in certain quantities, right? Some products are sold in quantities of 1, but the majority of stuff that you're going to buy is sold in cases, you know? So it might be a case of 36 bars of soap, right? You need to know that information. So it's really helpful. You don't need it for this stage, but it doesn't hurt to have, right? It will make sourcing products a little bit easier for you. MSRP and map pricing, right? So these are all the different fields that we can capture for you right now that will build a record. Think of it as like a data collector that's building a record that eventually, maybe not at this moment, but eventually we're going to be able to take that and push it out to the Walmart marketplace, right? We're going to be able to take it and push it on the Shopify. We're going to be able to take it, push it on to eBay. We're going to be able to take it and push it on to Jet.com, right? All these other marketplaces. Now, I believe that we should focus our energies where the marketplace really is right now, not diverting our attention in a whole bunch of different directions, which is Amazon, right? Amazon's got the fulfillment center set up. Our next move, guys, is going international 2018. So it's taking what we're doing today and being able to arbitrage the world. How cool is that? There's big opportunities out there, guys. So once we have this information, we get to run it through our little wizard, and we go. So I'm actually going to do this. I'm actually going to do this process. Like I had some screenshots, but it's not as cool as actually doing it live. One supplier, guys, can literally be worth millions of dollars in revenue. It doesn't take having a bazillion suppliers. It could be one supplier, which is awesome. We have some suppliers that we're making sales every day. We're replenishing their inventory every single day, and they always have new products every single month. They have stuff that ran out of stock last month that's back in stock. We continuously build this inventory of products that turn day after day after day, month after month after month, right? Each supplier that you come into contact with has the potential to be worth millions of dollars in revenue for your company. That's exciting, right? To know that you'll have full control over your business, right? You'll have full control over the relationships with your suppliers, right? So let's go through what actually makes a good product, okay? So these are like the qualifications. If you want to find the gold, these are the things that I've realized really that I like. Obviously, who doesn't want to have high ROI, right? Everybody in here know what ROI means, return on investment, right? So obviously, the higher the ROI, the more attractive the product, right? But generally speaking, the higher the ROI, the more competitive a product is, right? Because everybody's looking for the high ROI products, right? So you can find a high ROI product with low competition. That's exciting, right? You start getting, whoo, man. And then the last part of that equation is just sales velocity, right? Everybody know what sales velocity means? Amount of sales per day, pretty much, right? How often a product sells, right? AKA sales rank, right? Now, sales rank's a moving target, all right? So I don't want you guys to get wrapped up in sales rank as the definitive way of judging a product, okay? Because it moves. It goes up and down, up and down, up and down, based on a couple factors, based on how much quantity is in stock. So if I have a product that only has an inventory of 3, probably the sales rank's not going to be as high as if I had a quantity of 300, right? Because they're going to have the ability to fulfill over time on the product that has 300 units, right? So that's one of the things that factors into sales rank right there. You can control the sales rank if you understand that, right? That's kind of fun. So let's go into actually sourcing products now, guys, and we're going to score them. Again, I don't have a slide up right now. In your workbook, though, we give you guys a guide, right, that you can use when you're sourcing products to make Educated decisions. Hold on. We're looking, okay, so I want you guys to keep in mind, when we're sourcing products, if you guys really want to get the best bang for your buck, pick the best products and go in on them, okay? It's not a matter of having 1,000 products. It's a matter of having some good products, okay? So if you really want to get the best bang for your buck as you get set up, hold out for those products that really score well. All right, so I've already kind of come through here. Like, what's exciting? So Gerard, how many products was on this sheet that you uploaded? 15,000. Okay, so one supplier, guys, one supplier had 15,000 SKUs. And this supplier's in like the grocery category, something like that. They have a lot of grocery stuff. We like that category. Do you know why we like that category? Not to create my own competition or anything, but y'all know why we like that category? Renewable. It doesn't matter what time of year. People are going to be buying that stuff. It's not like a cycle. It's not cyclical. Like toys, you know, people buy toys now, but next month, you know, you got to wait for birthdays to come around, you know. So I like categories that lend themselves to, you know, year-round buying instead of, you know, but understand cycles, understand seasons. It doesn't mean that some, like, for example, we did we had a wholesaler over the summer, and this was when we very first started using the Sourcing Wizard. It was so exciting. I was like, holy cow, look at all these products. So we bought all these backpacks at the very end of August. No! I was like, I figured that these are going to keep selling. The sales ranks are great. Man, we're going to kill it on these backpacks. They get in there, and it's like nothing, just sitting on inventory. So now they're selling because it's Christmas and everything sells at Christmas, right? We sold some of them out, but yeah, I mean, just keep in mind the seasons, right? Like when you're sourcing products, look at Google Trends to identify what the seasons are. I kind of broke my own rule of making sure that we're going in at the right time. Now, if we were to do backpacks again next year, guess what? I have data, right? I can start seeing, oh, backpacks become popular in May when you get them in May, right? That way June, July come around and people are starting their back to school shopping. We're ahead of the trend. We're first instead of last. It's never good to be last. But the cool thing about our Sourcing Wizard, guys, like we loaded 15,000 products into our system here. It took a few hours to go through it, but in that few hours, we are able to come away with 51,699 potential products to sell. Do you think you could find one? Right? There's probably one in there. There's probably hundreds of them in there, right? I want you to consider one thing, guys. How many of you guys have full-time jobs? So a lot of you, okay? So probably one of the challenges, if I was to guess, would be that you just don't have time to really devote to handling customer service, sourcing products, you know, all that stuff that goes into running the Amazon business, right? Like you might start making sales because you focus on sourcing products, and then what happens? You actually get pulled over here and start actually like dealing with the customer service side of things, and that's probably, it makes it hard to scale, right? Now, this model, what's exciting, guys, is you could do this in a few hours a day. Right? You could source for an hour, and then you could take an hour of your time getting your products ready to go into Amazon, and that's it. Right? 2 hours a day. We saw a product that made us $4,000, right? I'm not making that number up. Made us $4,000 in profit. We saw a product that in a few days made us $2,200. What's your time worth, right? You can make more money doing this than anything else. And the cool thing about this is you can actually do it. I don't think that you could do that in the drop shipping business to where you can make enough to replace your income. So it's like you got to go all in if you want to build that 7-figure business. And that's scary for people. That's really scary for a lot of people, right? This, I really believe that you can do it in a few hours a day. And you can start getting the revenues to come in to supplement that revenue that you lose when you leave a job, right? Now, I want you to consider one thing, guys. If you really are a hardcore entrepreneur, what can you survive on, right? What can you survive on? Like, the more time that you put into your business, the better your business will be, right? You put 2 hours a day in, well, you'll build a nice little business, right? You put 8 hours a day in, and you start building a team around you, you'll build a big little business, right? So I want you to consider that, guys. Like, what's your time really worth at your job? And so the cool thing is right here, I have the ability to sort through. Now, if I'm going to sort through 50,000 products, it would take me a long time to go through them, right? So, how many pages of results is that if I go to the very end? 1,000 pages? 1,000 pages. So if I wanted to start with my products, at the very least, that get me a 50% ROI. All right, so we come over here to the wholesale wizard. We look at our results. We open it up. All right, so we're going to sort first by 50% ROI. So again, guys, the whole goal is for us to find the best products as quickly as we can find them. We have the ability to do that. We have the ability to sort out the ones that by default don't work, right? So if we scroll down here, now we look, how many pages of results do we have? Now I have 15 pages, right? That's still a lot of products. Like 15 times 50 is what, 750? Yeah. Right? So we weeded out 985 pages of results, right? I'll take it, right? Like, it saves a lot of time, doesn't it? Like, what's your time worth, right? Sales rank. Let's start weeding out products under, I don't know, 100,000. See, sales rank's one of those things that I don't really like to just base solely on sales rank because it does go up and down. But again, we're trying to find the best products as quickly as we possibly can. So now, products under 100,000, we have less than a page. So we went from 51,000 down to less than 50, okay? So all we're going to do here is start the process of figuring out which are our best products. Now, let me ask you guys a question. If you sold a product every single day for the next year, and you sold it 2 or 3 times every day for the next year, and you made $1.88 every single time that you sell it, would you do it? Right? So don't get wrapped up so much on the actual profit of a product. Obviously, the higher the profit, the better, right? Less sales to make more money. But you know, like, we have products that make us $1 every single time it sells, and it's been selling for 365 days at this point. It generates thousands of dollars in revenue. So don't get wrapped up solely on profit numbers. So let's take a look here. So the first thing that we're looking at, if we're going to grade this product, guys, like, we're looking at the bestseller rank, okay? Now, just from experience, I do know, depends on the category. So some categories, you know, bestseller rank of 0.5 is better than other categories, right? So you have to consider that. Do you guys all understand what bestseller rank really is calculating? Anybody in here not know? Like, I'll be happy to answer that. All right, cool. So like, all right, like grocery, for example. Maybe there's only 100,000 products in the grocery category. So a product that's ranked 90,000 is going to have a really high bestseller rank, right? It's going to be like 90%, okay? A product category that has 5 million products and it's ranked 100,000, you're going to have a bestseller rank of, you know, like 0.05 or something like that. It's going to be a really low bestseller rank. But it's still ranked 100,000 in that category, right? That means there's still 100,000 products that are in front of it. So don't get wrapped up just on bestseller rank as a sole means of making your decision. Just use it as a guide, okay? Now, again, I want you guys to really make the best decisions that you can possibly make, right? To limit your risk as much as you possibly can. It's not risky if you have all these data points, right? These are your data points. These are like picking stocks and knowing what's going to sell, okay? Like, if you guys knew which stocks would win, you'd probably put all your money into those stocks, right? Like Bitcoin. This is like Bitcoin, but it's actually real. Takes effort. You know, Bitcoin right now doesn't, but either way. Okay, so this is a bestseller rank of 1.78. So if we're using that, I would recommend that you guys might want to tailor this around categories, right? Like, that would, if I was redoing this right now, I'm going to look at the category first and adjust it around a little bit. But something that's from 1 to 2% gets 3 points. So I'm just going to put 3 points in here. Now, the profit on this one was $1.88, right? My FBA fees to fulfill on it is $5.42. The cool thing about that, guys, is that calculates the Amazon fee as well in there. So this is their total cost of shipping the product out. My cost is $2.86. The cost of FBA fees is $5.42. So my total cost is going to be like $8. So if we sell it at $10.33, which is what it's reading at the time, right now the buy box winner is at $10.40. I can teach you guys a little bit about buy box here in a second as well to give you some like little ninja tricks. It would make a 61% ROI, $1.88 each time. So, you know, if we're weighing actual profit heavy, then this one only gets this one actually gets 0 points because it makes less than $2, right? The ROI on this, it's between 50 and 69%, so it gets 3 points. So in terms of my sales velocity, my actual score is 6 points out of a possible 15, right? So there's kind of two ways to look at this. First, you have the sales side. How often is the product selling and how much profit are you going to make when it actually sells? And now we have the competitive analysis, right? This is probably the more important side, guys, the competitive analysis. Because the lower the competition, the longer the life cycle of that product. Everything has a shelf life. You guys have witnessed that in drop shipping, right? To where you're selling a product, and then you no longer sell it anymore, right? Does that ever happen to any of you guys, right? Every one of you, right? So here we have, you know, we're going to be looking at, first and foremost, I'm more concerned with how many FBA sellers there are than the amount of sellers, right? Because I know if I'm competing against someone that's warehousing the product, first I can sell the product for more money than they're charging, and I'm going to get the buy box, which is exciting. In this case, we have 1, we have 2, we have 3 that are within, and it's really 2, right? You have these 2 that are at $11.99 and $12.59. So the next thing I want to do here, guys, I want to see kind of like how many units they have in stock, right? I want to see kind of what my competition is. Are any of you guys not using the how many extension at this point? Any of you guys using this? No? Okay. All right, so guys, look up how many extension. It's pretty awesome. Hopefully it's working today. A couple days ago, it wasn't calculating stuff accurately. Still not. So usually what this actually does, sad that it's not working at this exact moment, is you see, I don't know if you guys can see, I know some of you are in the back of the screen, but on this screen it's showing me how many they have in stock, right? How many they have in stock. So I don't know at the exact moment, but I know that if a product has a good sales velocity, aka sales rank, and there's not a lot of actual units that my competitors have in stock, that even if there appears to be a lot of sellers, I can still get in and play a game on that one. And I'll like to come in aggressively, right? Because I don't know about you guys, but if we're sourcing products and I see that someone's got like 300 units of something, I might just move on to the next product, right? So consider that as you're sourcing, what the other people are going to also be looking at as they're sourcing products as well. I've noticed in my time that a lot of people only warehouse, 10, 15 units of something, right? They're not aggressive, So it's not a matter of building it as wide. If you're really wanting to get the most bang for your buck, it's building strong on the products that you go in on, okay? It's being strong on them, controlling that product until the only person that I really don't want to compete against is who? Right? They got a lot more money. They got a lot more money. But for the most part, almost any other FBA sellers, I'm not that intimidated by, because I know. And what I'd be looking at on this product right here, guys, okay? So, all right, cool. This Oxcom has, I don't know how many in stock, but let's just say they had 5 in stock, okay? Now, Amazon's on this listing as well, which I don't necessarily love. If I'm looking at my Keepa chart, Amazon has a strong history of being on this product as well. So just by looking at this chart, it would instantly disqualify this product already. I wouldn't look at it, but I think it's more important to walk you guys through the thought process than anything, right? So because Amazon is so powerful on this product, I don't want to deal with it, right? But it's something to consider as you're grading your products. If Amazon's not on this product, what I'm looking at is how many FBA sellers are there and how aggressive are they? How many units do they have of the product? If I come in, do I have a realistic shot at really, playing the game for a long time with them? I don't mind sharing the buy box. I don't mind. It's not that bad, because I'll make sales every single day. But if there's a whole bunch of people, it's probably not a good idea. What's going to happen if there's a whole bunch of them? Product price keeps dragging and dragging and dragging, right? So this product right here, if we were to grade it out, okay, let's just go through the process. This has 0 to 5 FBA sellers, but Amazon's on it, and that's part of our scoring, right? Amazon's got a history, and they've been in the history. Amazon has history. They're actually selling it. Amount in FBA stock, so you'll see that I actually calculate amount in FBA stock. That's part of what we're looking for. We want to know, that way we're making educated decisions. Again, guys, we're buying stocks, but they happen to be physical products, and we know what the results are going to be. We know. Every one of these products sells. It's a matter of how quickly are they going to sell, right? The whole idea is to get your money turning as quickly as you possibly can, right? So as you're getting your business established here, hold out for the best products. Hold out for the very best ones, and then start leveraging the cash flow from those best products, right? And we talk about that in the replenishment side of things. So amount in FBA stock, I can't really calculate. Let's just say there was less than 50, okay? I don't know how many there is because the how many extension doesn't seem to be working at this exact moment. Total number of FBA sellers, within 5% of the buy box. So I have total number of FBA sellers within 5% of the buy box, and then I have total number of FBA sellers overall. Let me see how many sellers are on this. So it looks like there's a couple on the second page right here. So there's a total of 4 or 5? We got 1, 2, 3, and then on the second page there was 2. So we have 5. Right? So that one's going to be 3 points right there. So our competitive analysis, actually Amazon has a history. Let me see, that gives me 0 points on the Amazon has a history. We'll say there's less than 50 in stock though. I don't know how many are in stock, but Amazon's got a history. I'm out, right? This means they've had a history in less than a month. Usually what that tells me is they're probably in the process of replenishing that product. Usually, if it's a good product. Amazon's also pretty smart. They don't replenish products that suck, right? So you can use that as a guide. If they've got a history of selling a product and they're no longer selling it, why? If they're making money on it, why? Why are they no longer selling it? So these are just data points for you to look at, guys. They're a guide. They're an overall, it gives you the full picture, right, of being able to make educated decisions on the products that you're buying, all right? So my total amount of points between these two factors is 13 points, right? That gives me a D, a grade of a D, which puts it into a monitoring category. And I'm going to give you a little trick when we're done doing this, right? I'm going to give you a little ninja trick that you can use to monitor products. Any of you guys want to really be able to stack the deck in your favor, where before you buy anything, everything about it? It's going to be fun. So let's just keep going through. So that product, all right, I might not source it, or if I want to monitor it, I can do some. I'm going to show you that when I'm done. So I'm just going to get rid of it in my view. Okay. So the next thing that I'm looking at here is this Green Toys pink race car. So currently the buy box is suppressed. All right. Let's take a look at the data points on it. All right. My total profit is $6.63. My total FBA ROI, 113. So let's grade this product. Looks pretty good so far. All right, so 3 points here. All right, bestseller rank. Bestseller rank on this is 66,000, which is in the toys and games category of 1.2%. Pretty good in toys and games, right? I mean, that is RevSeller. You see where it says available from these sellers? So that means nobody's currently winning the buy box. In order for someone to buy it, they have to actually look at all the sellers, right? So if you got that, it really significantly slows sales down. You'll make sales still, but you have to consider what the other competitors are doing. You'll have some people that will buy it from you because you have Amazon Prime, even if someone's selling it for less than you and you're not winning the buy box. But you generally don't want to be in on those products, you know, because it takes a while to turn them for the most part. Slow sales down.
Question. So for someone who's new and doesn't have any history, I know usually it takes 90 days of your drop shipping to get history to get the buy box. If you're sending inventory over to Amazon to do FBA, will you automatically qualify for the buy box?
Yep. Because they're fulfilling for you. They don't have to worry about whether or not you're not going to send a product out, right? That's why they take that 3 months to kind of, it's a, you know, we're dating. We want to make sure that you're gonna do your thing. So this product only has one seller, okay? Seller, it's got 0 FBA sellers, right? Okay. There's 0 FBA sellers. There's actually only 1 seller total, so that's going to be another 5 points here. Amazon has a history. I don't believe I saw them with a history. They do. Looks like they did sell out on the product. So they had it as recently as November 23rd. What might happen with this product is we come to find out that the supplier doesn't have any more in stock, which is why it looks like such a good product, right? But that's stuff that you'll learn. So it's usually selling for a lot less than it's selling for at this moment. It's selling for $16.21. But I'm telling you, in the Christmas season, that's what happens. So Amazon does have a history. They sold it within the last month. So we're going to give that 0 points there. And we'll have 5 in because there is no FBA stock. So a total of 26 points between ROI calculations or sales velocity calculations. So this is a good product, 26 points. You know, depending on what it actually really sells for, right? Like, because since nobody has it in stock, I don't think that I would put a lot into it at this point, unless it's Christmas. The reason being is because it does appear that Amazon has a good history of selling it. And when I look at this chart, they were selling it for $4, and now it's for sale for $16, right? So if they entered back into the equation on this one, we'd be sitting on inventory. Make sense? You guys see, like it grades pretty good, but consider what happens whenever, you know, Amazon enters back into the situation.
Is Keepa your primary tool for velocity?
It's not a tool for velocity. It's just a tool for me to be able to kind of read the history of a product to see what it's usually selling at.
So what are you primarily using for velocity?
Really, what I use is when I actually buy a product and I see how often it sells, right? That's my real tool for velocity. So like we're using this in a way, but not so much trial and error. It's really using these data points and making an educated decision. Like you'll start, like as you start doing it, like you'll start seeing, like what you'll see on this one, like this one might appear to be a good product, but it might not be, based on the fact that Amazon sells it for $10 less than it's currently selling for when they have it in stock, right? Sales rank's going to tell you a lot. Like if it's ranked 68,000, it's going to sell. It's just a matter of how long does it take for you to sell out, right? How many days?
So you don't have the sales rank box checked here.
Let's see.
To be able to see that.
Yeah, see, this product was ranked really high, really low. And then what happens once it ran out of stock, obviously, it went way up, right? So Keepa does give you a good analysis of a product. You know, again, we're looking for our A products, and you'll see it. When you see an A product, it's right in front of you, right? So you won't have to have maybe I'm going to go in on this one, maybe I'm not going to go on this one. And as you do that over time, you'll start really developing the skill set of knowing what you're looking at when it comes to like making that decision.
So can your developers develop that velocity software?
Yeah, we're in the process. I don't know if we'll be able to guess how many sales, because it's kind of a guessing game with how many times it actually does sell. But we are building it in right now into our platform to where it shows how many times a day it's reselling, when you need to restock the product. We're building a forecasting system into our platform at the moment. We're actually even building into our system, like it's going to grade the products for us, which is kind of nice. It gives you at least a leg up. Yeah, so Keepa gives you all sorts of data. I don't look at this as much, the statistics, because it doesn't read certain things. Like Keepa doesn't read like sale prices and some of the other things. So it's not. It could be a little bit misleading. But in this case, it shows you that the average price of this product is $7.43. I know when Gerard's in our mission control area, he's looking at how many times prices drop per month. The more price drops per month indicates the more competitive a product is, right? Like you'll have more stability. So yeah, you guys have all the data points right in front of you right here if you understand how to leverage them. So like in our mission control, we'll have our team of VAs submit them in there, and Gerard goes into our mission control, and he's making the final decision on whether or not it's a good product or bad product.
So Jason, what's stopping you from actually drop shipping this item?
From our supplier?
From a supplier and drop ship, you got one seller.
If I could drop ship the product, yeah, why not, right? It's the same thing, like mine as well. Nothing would stop me if the supplier actually allows us to drop ship. Not all wholesalers will drop ship. That's one of the challenges that you run across with wholesale, and some of them aren't very good at drop shipping, even if they will. Like it's kind of a real messy process for you to be able to get them to give you certain information. So I just want to control my inventory more than anything. That's really, I want to know that I actually have that product, so I don't have to worry about my metrics being out of whack or getting notifications from Amazon telling me my late shipments are out of whack and they don't like it, pick it up. So nothing per se to stop you. You can drop ship. You could use this. You could use the system to drop ship. We have the ability to monitor inventory in bulk. You could upload their sheets into there that will update the stock levels if you had a supplier. I know this supplier does drop ship, and we do list a lot of their products in there, but we use it as a means of collecting data. That's it. We use it as a means of being able to see what kind of results those products are getting. And then when we see a product's getting some results, even if we're making a small margin on it, we cost compare. I actually go through that. We look and we determine whether or not we'll be able to do better by buying it, right? So we try to stack the deck in our favor as much as we possibly can, And in this case, that's my little ninja trick I'm going to show you, Jerry, too, is like how to collect some more data on products that you might not be, maybe not, right? I'll show you guys that. So this one, again, let's just keep going through this process. Repetition is important, right? You guys have a lot of good questions, so feel free to ask questions as I'm going through this as well. This is important. This is the most important part of this weekend, guys. You have to understand what you're doing in this area in order to generate cash flow. So if you have anything, by the time we're done with this, I want all of you guys to really have a clear understanding of what it is that we're looking at, so you can feel confident in going in. Here's a product that's got 238 reviews, so that's cool. No buy box winner at the moment. If we look at Amazon hasn't really sold it very aggressively. So do you guys know how to read the Keepa chart, like to really determine how aggressively Amazon sells something? This chart right here, if I open it up and I go through all time, they don't have like a real strong history on it, right? So I wouldn't consider Amazon to really be a competitor on this one the way I would if I saw like this just orange line, that's just solid. Usually when you see like little spikes in it like this, if I open it up to like the last 3 months, usually when you see these little tiny spikes like this, it's probably because of returns, right? They get a couple returns in, they resell it. That's what's nice also, when people return stuff, you don't just lose the inventory, they resell it for you and you make your money anyways, So that's most likely what that means right there. So let's grade this product out right here. Okay, so no buy box winner at the moment. FBA profit, $17.84. That's pretty awesome. It's good profit. Not to say that that's going to be what you sell it at, right, guys? Like maybe something doesn't have a great sales rank because they're selling it too high. Maybe it doesn't have the buy box because they're selling it too high. Like, what's the history of this product sale, okay? All right, so, well, $50, it's a lot higher than the 1088 that it was selling at one time. One box of cookies, right, for $50. Probably not, right? Crazy to believe. So most likely, guys, you're going to be selling this, like, let's see what it used to sell at whenever it was down. So sales rank wasn't too bad. It was pretty good. They were selling it at 1008 here, 1177, really cheap. Like the one thing I don't like about using Keepa as a means, like it shows $4.47, right? That doesn't calculate shipping, potential shipping that people were charging, right? So when I'm looking at this one, I have to kind of say, all right, I'm going to use $10. That's what it was at here. Not to say that this is a great product as well, but let me just use $10 as my offer. So what does that do? My cost on this product is out of whack as well because it's showing eight boxes of cookies instead of one box of cookies. So if I take this, it looks like my 8 boxes of cookies divided by 8. And the reason I know that, guys, is because my bulk quantity says 8, right? So that shows me that this is calculating that price based on 8 boxes. So my cost per box is $3.63. And this is all stuff that you're going to verify at your supplier level as well. Remember, guys, only one product a day. That's all you need, right? Only one product a day. You just got to validate the information. So the FBA fees, let me see if it gives me FBA fees if I was to sell this at $10. This isn't, I really like this tool, RevSeller, for those of you who aren't using it. My FBA fees at this is going to be $288 plus $151. $288 plus $151 equals $4.39. So if I come over here, everything's editable, right? So we can verify our information before we make a decision. So now we're at a more accurate number right here. So $1.76 profit. If we're basing it just on profit alone, that's not going to score real high. You know, but again, like I want you guys to consider, like as you're getting in the game, try to hold out for the very best products, right? Hold out for the ones that are going to make you the best profit, that have the lowest competition. So this one, we're really at 0. If we use that, I might adjust this and give some value to a product that makes less than $2, you know, because I've sold a lot of them and they make a lot of money. So I might actually still not really weigh it as heavily as I'm weighing it right here. Bestseller rank in its category. It's in a different category. It doesn't look like they have a bestseller rank in this Launchpad category. But in the Launchpad, it's ranked 9,272. It's got 238 reviews. Obviously, a product doesn't get a 238 reviews. Let me look at something real quick. So I look at it and I say, all right, it's got 238 reviews. So we're digging right now, guys. We're digging. All right? So it's got 238 reviews. How recent? Right? How recent are they? Assuming that a product that's actually selling right now is going to have recent reviews, that will tell me a lot about that sales rank, right? This one, 2015, 2016, April 17, 2017, 16, January 17, October 29th, July 22nd. Let me see if I can sort by recency of review. Sort by top rated, most recent. Let's see the most recent. November, October. How many reviews in October? 2, 3, 4, 5. Five reviews in October. I don't know. What percentage of people you think review products? 1/10? Right? So that would 50 sales if 1 out of 10 people. 50 sales, right, per month. All right. I mean, it's probably just not had anybody selling it for the last couple months. Maybe very low, you know, not a lot of people, but it's got a lot of sales. Some of the reviews are recent, within the last couple months. They're not like years old at this point, right? So this would be a product that so far not looking too bad, right? Doesn't have a lot of competition. Now, the only thing that I really don't know on this one, you know, I don't really have a good idea of what it sold for when it was selling. I don't really know that. So I don't know what to price it out at. Am I pricing it out at $10 or am I pricing it out at $12, right? You know, so that's something to consider right there. Am I pricing it out at 8? If I price it out at 8, I don't make any money anymore, right? But if I price it out at 10, I make money. Knowing that I'm going to be the only Amazon FBA seller, what I'm going to do, let me show you guys this little ninja trick, all right? What I would do, all right? So I'm going to list this product. I'm going to say merchant fulfilled as I list it. I'm going to put a quantity of 1. I'm going to put a handling time of 30 days. And I'm going to put an Amazon price of $30. Right? Why do you think I'm doing that? Right? I'm not trying to sell it. What I'm trying to get is statistics, right? Like, I need to put the cost in here. I'll put $0 for shipping, right? Like, what I'm trying to get, guys, is statistics, right? Because when I have a quantity of 1 product in stock, remember this. This is going to be important for you guys as you start really analyzing stuff and you start collecting data to make decisions to take money out of your pocket and buy products, right? I want to stack the chips in your favor. Putting 1 in stock, putting the price high, right? You start collecting data. Your traffic stats start popping up. So what do you do in a week from now? Analyze it. Look at it. See what's getting the most traffic, right? Because if it's getting traffic, what's happening? It's selling, right? Amazon doesn't send traffic to stuff that doesn't sell.
Do you use Jungle Scout at all for any of these estimations?
No,
You don't
I
trust the
don't
numbers?
say it's bad or good. I think that it's just it's a guessing game when they tell you how many times a product sells, you know, because I can look at my sales and then I can look at Jungle Scout or another one of those tools and it's completely not even close. Quite often. Do it with your store. Take a look at the products that you're selling and see how many times you've sold it, and then take a look at Jungle Scout and see if you're even close, right? So I don't trust those tools because they're just guessing, you know. It really is a, I don't know. They don't know, right? So they're saying it sells estimated amount of times. Like, they don't know. Like, there's other factors that go into this stuff. So, you know, we're trying to think smart here, you know. I would much rather use my own data. You know, one of my buying strategies, if you guys have listened to Wholesale Mastery, one of our strategies is to buy a lot of SKUs, right? To just stack SKUs. So every time we see an A product, we buy a lot, right? If we see a B product, we still buy it. We're just cautious with it, right? We're not quite as aggressive. We're going to buy little bits of it so we can see what sells, right? I like to use my own data, right? And what you're going to see in pillar number 4 is there's a very real way of predictably growing your revenue month after month and your cash flow month after month, you know, because once you start getting data, what you're going to see is these are the ones that we need to keep going in on, and these are the ones that we need to get rid of. It's not working, right? If you only buy a little bit of something, you're really not risking a lot. You might risk $50, you know, but on over here, you're making 4,000, right? So data's everything. Your own data is going to be everything. So at least if you learn how to score the products, you're going to really increase your chances of winning, right? Using Jungle Scout to make the estimated sales, you might go buy 100 units of something and come to find out it sells 3 times a month. Too much. You know what I said, right? All right. So you guys see that little ninja trick right there? Pretty cool little ninja trick that we could use. I actually had that in my presentation, but I couldn't hold off. All right, so let's just keep scoring. You know, because like I mentioned, guys, it's not a matter of everything. It's a matter of something, right? Like it's a matter of finding one product in this time frame because it can be worth thousands of dollars of revenue, thousands of dollars of profit. You only have to find the product once, which is nice, and then you just have to keep it in stock after you find it. So this one, 1%, guys, right? So it's top 1% in health and household, right? So if we're just using this as like a gauge, I can go anywhere from 5 points to 3 points because it's kind of at 1.03%, right? The difference between 5 and 3, right? So I'm going to give it 5. All right, let's see my profit on this product. My profit, $7.17, right? So that's pretty cool. We got 3 points. I like making $7 on a sale of a product too. It's nice. But you don't have to make $7. You can have 50 products that are making you $2 every single time it sells, right? Like it's stack, compound. All right, so ROI. What's our ROI on this one? What do we got? 85% ROI. Pretty good. We might have a good product here. So out of a total of 15 potential points, it has 12, and you know, actually we can get more because our BSR, we actually give a little bit more heavy weight. See, this is a guide. It's not a foolproof thing. It's just a guide. And if you understand kind of what you're looking at a little bit, like it gives you like a real good estimate of where you're going to be with a product. So, number of FBA sellers. We got 1 right here. Now, this buy box is being won at what? What was the buy box actually being won at from the 1403 plus 499? What's that? 1902. 1902. So if I were this seller, right, if I were pricing this product out, I would probably price it out closer. If they're at 1902, I'd price it out at 20, right? Because I'm pretty confident that I'd be able to win the buy box at 20. Now, worst case, I would price it out at 1902. What does that do? Like if I price it out at 1902, it might affect my numbers a little bit, right? $3.35 at that point, right? So you make a little bit less, changes the ROI numbers, right? But I know that I can come in and win the buy box probably at $20. So I'm now at $4.33. Changes my ROI numbers a little bit, you know, because it was pricing out. Whenever this ran, it ran yesterday, this person was winning the buy box because that's how we calculate the number is whenever we run it, whenever the sheet actually runs, it's whoever was winning the buy box at that exact moment. So the system picked up the buy box winner at 22.56. So I could price it out at that as well and just look at the FBA competitors. But I have to be aware that I might not get 100% buy box unless I come closer to wherever this guy's at. But I know like you guys are going to see a company, if you end up in our categories, called PharmaPacks. Have you guys read that article? I posted it somewhere. Like I posted this article. This company is a $100+ million company. $100+ million selling on Amazon. Pretty cool. They actually have their own distribution system. They don't send anything into Amazon. But it's a really intricate system, right? They always price stuff lower, and I know if I see them, I don't care because I can come in and price stuff higher than them, and I'm going to win the buy box over them because I'm using FBA. They just have a lot of products. They have like 80,000 SKUs. So, all right. So this one looking pretty good so far, right? Not bad, $4.33. It looks like it's got some good sales history. Now, when I read these charts, guys, like when I see something like this tells me that it sells regularly. Like the more like jaggedy it is, like where it's kind of like this, the more consistent the sales are. Like if you start seeing the shark fin like this, it's not quite as, in terms of velocity, right? In terms of velocity, this one has pretty decent velocity just based on the jaggedness of the chart, right? It tells me that it's selling fairly regularly, okay? So now let's look at the competitive factors. I have two FBA sellers. I can't calculate, sadly, I can't calculate how many they have in stock. It's only showing 1. So, hey, G, can you, this one says, no, never mind. It gives me, this one has 17. Oh, stock revealed by Keepa. So they have 17, and this one has 11. All right, cool. You guys see that? It might be hard for some of you to see, but Keepa does tell me that, so that's cool. Have all the plugins in the world. I love the plugins. Total sellers, FBA, there's only 2. Total number of sellers within the Amazon buy box, 5 points there. Amazon has no history of selling this product, right? I don't think so. Do you guys know how you can tell that really easily? If Amazon's name shows up here, they have a history. If it doesn't show up here, they don't have a history. Okay? So in this case, Amazon has no history, so we're at 5 points there. And then Amazon stock, there's less than 50 units. So this gets a perfect competitive score, 20 points. So a total score of 32 points on this product, guys. We found an A-rated product. Yay. Right? We found an A-rated product. So you can feel pretty confident when you find that A-rated product that you can enter into the equation and sell that for some time. Right? That's a great product right there. Like we'll buy that product, and then we'll let our data really collect, and then we'll see how aggressively we're going to continue to buy the product. Because right now, whoever's selling it, 17 units, 11 units, that's not that much, you know? So I know that I can at least come in with 15, 20 units of the product and get some data and limit my exposure, right? I want to limit my exposure on the front end until I really know. Once I know, bam, going in, putting my money back in the game, right? Again, based on everything else, I'm going to buy this product, and I'm going to determine, like once it gets in there, I'm going to figure out what the real sales velocity on it is to determine whether or not I'm going to be good. Because I could always liquidate it, right? I could always get rid of it by liquidating the product down to my cost and get my money back out and come in on something else. You know, that's kind of the process. We have like a suggestion right here. So, you know, like the suggestion on this one, since it rates out in an A, would be 12 cases or 12, you know, like 12 units of a product. You know, as you get better, you know, you can maybe say, I'm going to go 50 units on something. But I like to limit my exposure as much as possible in the beginning and put as little in to get some data out, right? Once I have data, I can make better buying decisions, right? Until I have that data, I'm guessing. I'm guessing pretty accurately, but I'm still guessing, right? So I'm going to go in with as little as possible, see if it sells, how long it takes for it to sell, and then I'll collect data. And you'll see on the pillar number 4, that's the replenishment cycle of like now that we know what's selling, we're going to put more money over here. You know, like 80% of your budget, I'm getting ahead of myself, 80% of your budget should be going towards your replenishments. 20% of your budget should be going towards just finding new products. You know what I mean? So in the beginning, it's really 100% of your budget, right, is finding the products. But as you start getting data, you'll start reallocating that budget into the stuff that's selling. You'll see, right? Like you'll actually see. Like this is just a guide, you know. If you're uncomfortable with them having any history, like I would recommend that if you guys want to really play it safe, if Amazon has any history on a product, avoid it. You know, if you want to set just a hard rule. But it's more of a feel that you're going to get as you do it over time, right? You'll collect the information and you'll be able to determine. That's why like our buying strategy is what it is, where we buy a little bit of stuff and then we figure out what sells and then we keep buying more of it. You know, like that's really how we go in. I don't have any exposure on one particular product to where it's like if I lose $50, I don't lose anything on any products because I liquidate it if anything and I get my money back out to where I break even. Like my repricing strategy is to break even. $0 profit if I have to. Now, it doesn't happen very often, but if I find that product and it's like, okay, the only way that we're selling this is at a cost, then I'm not going to replenish it, right? And we go over that, you know, in pillar number 4.